Hello everyone, I welcome you all for our revision session of chapter number 4, How the Traders Became the Rulers. So in today's revision session, I'll be discussing in brief about the main topics like for example, the subsidiary alliance system, the annexation policy and the reforms made by Lord Dalhousie. So these topics are very important, so I'll be touching upon in very brief. So please keep writing important notes and keep revising these sessions again and again. Only then you will understand the chapter thoroughly. So let's get started for this session. Now moving towards the next chapter, that is lesson number 4, how the traders became the rulers. So firstly we'll start with the main policy of Lord Wellesley, the subsidiary alliance system. The subsidiary alliance system. The princely states that accepted the policy had to keep and maintain the British army. So the entire expenses of the British army was to be borne by the king. The princely states were also compelled to keep a British representative in the royal court. Now the British representative was appointed in order to make sure that he monitors the entire administration of the kingdom. The British could maintain the army without spending any money. So Britishers were relieved from the task of collecting money because now the entire expenses was to be taken by the king. So now the income of Britishers were saved and they could reinvest in some other policies. So now they were free from any expenses of the army. The princely states were not allowed to utilize the army at their own will. So the kings were taking the entire expenses of the army, but they were not having the freedom to use the army. So that was one kind of a torture that they were facing. So this policy was completely for bringing more and more income for the Britishers, and they also wanted to expand their British Empire. The annexation policy. The annexation policy was implemented by Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General for the East India Company in India between 1848 to 1856. So this policy was implemented by Dalhousie, who was ruling India approximately between 1848 to 1856. The annexation policy is also called as the doctrine of lapse. So usually this policy is called as the doctrine of lapse, which is also called as annexation policy. As per the annexation policy, if any ruler of a princely state died without a natural heir, the authority of the state will pass to the British East India Company. So as per the policy, the rules and regulations are actually many, but the main term of the policy is, suppose if any ruler dies without a natural heir, so if he does not have his own son, if he's having an adopted son, then that particular kingdom immediately after the death of the king will go to the East India Company. The reforms made by Lord Dalhousie. Now the changes that he made in different fields was simply because to expand the British Empire and to increase the income of the East India Company. So in different fields he made tremendous reformation in fields like railways, post and telegraph, transport and communication, public works department, education and social reform. Now coming towards the end of the session, I'm sure you're noting down important points and you can also make mind maps out of it, so that at the end moment, if you just look into the mind map, you will recall the important points. So firstly you can neatly write down the important points and make small mind maps for some of the main topics so that you can revise it every day.